who serves, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Hum, Hum. Greetings to you. One who serves here. And we are here minus Shoshana at this point, but we will. What is your term? Muddle on here. We are ready for your questions if you have them. You can unmute your phones now and we will entertain your questions if you have them. Guest, I have a question. OWS, yes? Guest. This may relate to what Sananda was saying about working in our think state. I sometimes recently wake up light scratches around my upper arms and around there, and I wondered if that has anything to do with something that is happening in my sleep state. OWS, we did not quite understand in your wording of what is happening in your sleep. Something about our arms? Guest, getting scratches. I get light scratches. I did have cats, but it's only one scratch, it's not like 3 in a row, or something like that. It's just one random scratch here and there, and I just wondered if it has something to do with what is going on in my sleep state. OWS, it certainly is. That is correct. It is an affirmation of what you are doing, working within your sleep state, that you are operating at a higher level in that sleep state and working with those of the forces of light to bring about the changes here to this planet. You, along with many of the angels and the archangels, are working together in this way. And there are many of you that are on this call and those that resonate to these words that are also doing so. You may not notice the scratches, you may not remember those things that happen, but indeed they are happening just as you are beginning to understand more and more that they are happening. Certainly when you have those lucid dreams, those of you that are having those. And we find that more of you are having them more and more here. And this is going to continue, that you are going to have these dreams. Eventually you are going to remember more and more of what is happening in that dream state, in that reality. For indeed it is a reality beyond the illusion of the third dimension. Was this sufficient for you? Yes, I just wondered, does that mean that the fighting is physical? OWS, yes. You are, yes. You are having, I some sense here, a battle between the dark and the light. Yes. Guest, thank you. OWS, would there be other questions here? Guest, yes, I have a question. Related to her story, I have the same thing happen the other day. In the morning when I woke up, on the left side of my stomach I thought it was a bug bite. It pretty much healed now, but I had no recollection of how it happened. Or I thought maybe I was bitten by something in my sleep. Is that connected to that, or is that additional? OWS, indeed, it is very much connected. You are experiencing those things we have been speaking of for quite some time, those glimpses. And those glimpses can be more than just seeing into the higher dimensions, but can also be experiencing and healing, and all of this that goes along with it. So, yes. Guest, Okay, thank you. OWS, would there be other questions here? Guest, I have a question. OWS, yes. Guest, I would like to know where animals go after they pass on. I had a wonderful cat that I had for 20 years. She had passed on. And I'm telling you, I love that cat so much, and miss her so much, and I'm wondering whether they go on like we do. I have a feeling they do have a soul. Can you please tell me where they do go? OWS, what we can tell you is they indeed do have a collective soul. And together they are working to bring about the changes here on the planet in their own way as well, as companions, as love companions to you, to show you the way to unconditional love, for that is what they are. That is what they bring. And in their sacrifices and all of this, they bring this love to mankind, you see? Where they go is very similar in a sense to where the human being go. But there is a difference in that there is the individual soul for humanity. But in the animal world there is more of the collective soul, which at times does become individual, and that is where you have those beloved pets that you have had that come back in another form, or might be in the same animal form, or in a different animal form to you. But they continue on in that animal form until they are ready themselves to move on beyond that. Guest: well, you know what I said when she passed on? I said, you graduated. Because she was so human. I thought she might become a human the next incarnation. Because I've gotta tell you, I have never experienced an animal like her. I do feel the loss. But I want her to be happy. I hope she's happy where she's at. And thank you for your answer. Thank you so much, OWS, yes. Would there be other questions here? Guest: one who serves? Do animals actually eventually graduate to becoming humans? Or do they always stay in the collective animal kingdom? OWS, you have to understand there is always an ascension process. And this goes for all beings, whether they are animals, humans, mineral, whatever it might be. There is an ascension process. There is a continuing movement onward into higher dimensional frequencies, into higher understandings, higher consciousness, all of this. This continues on for all beings. Okay? Yes, so we can't testify that they eventually become a human being. OWS, it is definitely, yes, that is part of the process as well. And there are other beings beyond the human beings, you have to understand. Guest: okay. Thank you for answering the question. I was just curious to know if they can eventually become humans. OWS, yes. We take your email question now. OWS, we will say that they are certainly worth reading to those that wish to read them, that wish to understand this part of history, those historians within you, within each of you, the part of you that wishes to know the truth, wishes to understand what has occurred previous to your evolution here on this planet, what the beginning of this evolution on this planet, you see? So indeed, those books by this one you speak of are indeed accurate in many respects. But for the most part, it is very accurate, and has been changed by those that have read these materials and then came with their own understanding of this. So it is very similar to that of the Bible and how it has been misinterpreted, mistranslated, all of this, over the many thousands of years, you see? So we are ready to end this part of your call here. So we just wish to say here in closing that you continue to, as Sananda said, continue to move on, forward, always moving forward on into the light, more and more into the light of your being, and into the light of your own creating. Shanti. Peace be with you. Be the one. Channel, James McConnell.